And now, ladies and gentlemen, I have the distinguished pleasure to invite to the stage His Worship John Tory, a great working and hard-working mayor of Toronto, the greatest city of our country and the heart of our nation.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, Premier, Minister, Chief, members of provincial and federal parliament, and my colleague from City Council, Mark Grimes, who is the city-appointed champion for the Pan Am Parapan Games. You know, I don't know how often it is that you get lucky when you're in public life, some days more so than others, but one of the luckiest things that happened to me was that I had the good fortune to become the mayor of Toronto in the very year that we're hosting the Pan Am Parapan American Games. And it's a privilege to have that opportunity to welcome the Pan-American world to Toronto. And it's also a miracle to be standing here today because if you think about it, we're gathered here in a place that, yes, has a great historical significance, as we heard earlier on from the chief, but we're also gathered in a place which people had basically written off not too long ago. And yet, with the determination of governments and businesses and nonprofit organizations and the spirit of Pan Am Parapan and the committee that's been working on that, we're on now a site which will host, as has been mentioned, 10,000 plus athletes and coaches, and then after that smashing success of the 2 sets of games this summer, it will transform itself into one of Toronto's most dynamic neighborhoods. And it shows that when people work together, when they really decide they're going to work together as opposed to just talking about things, miracles can occur. And when I use the word miracle, if you go back and look at what people were saying about this very site that we're standing on today 20 years ago, I think it's a miracle that we're standing here today. And it happened because governments, plural, politicians of all stripes, and I'm learning the longer I have this job, there are lots of those, public servants, businesses like CIBC and Kilmer Dundee, organizations like Waterfront Toronto, which itself is a partnership of governments, Infrastructure Ontario, and a host of community groups actually talked to each other, actually worked with each other, and lo and behold, accomplished what I think is a miraculous result. And now, for the sake of our province and our city and the athletes of the Pan American Parapan Games, it's up to us to get behind these games and to make them the huge success that our city and our province want and need. It's our chance to show the world not only the great athletes village that we're here today in, but and not only a great city and region of industry and of enterprise and of compassion and caring and diversity, but it's also a chance for us to show that part of the world how we live here. A place where we do get things done, where people from all walks of life will move into these very premises after the games are over in a city where everyone is welcomed and embraced and included. And so on behalf of the people of Toronto and the Toronto City Council, I want to extend my congratulations to everyone who helped to make this happen, with a special recognition to the leadership role that has been played by the Government of Ontario, because they've really been the quarterback on this. And to the people of Toronto and the region, I say volunteer. Get involved, buy tickets, invite your friends to come and visit from all over Canada and all over the world to come here and see not only Toronto and Ontario, but to see this village, the beautiful gem that is the Aquatic Centre in Scarborough, and the Velodrome in Milton, and all the different things that are going to happen as part of a big athletic and cultural festival. And I think it is now our turn here, the people who live here, to make sure this thing is a complete success and to show the world what we can do. It is now my pleasure to introduce Larry Tannenbaum. Larry Tannenbaum is an outstanding business leader. His enterprises and those of his family who are here today have created hundreds of jobs and opportunities for people in this area. He is an amazing citizen, and again, that's a family effort with Ken and Judy and other members of the family who contribute so much to what they do as philanthropists and people who contribute to the community. There is just one project I'm only going to allude to that he's working on that is as yet incomplete. And I alluded to it on a radio interview the other day, and I want to say it in this positive sense, that I was sitting at my desk at the City Hall, and I have a magnificent view of Nathan Phillips Square and a new stage, and I said, you know, on the Fan 590, I said, I am looking forward to the day within my term of office, and I said maybe the second term, not the first, it takes a while, when I will be there hosting with Larry and others a Stanley Cup celebration at Nathan Phillips Square. Larry, I know you're going to do it. Come on up.